friends, to another Creative Cutter Room video. On this video today I'm going to show you how to creatively cut your own border strips so that you can have these fun edges to use over and over again if you choose. Now I know a lot of you may have or have heard of Kiwi Lane designs, and a lot of their designs, their templates are based on these like wavy borders that you can alternate and overlap to create these fun edges. So I just free-handed this one from my flower making class that I'm having today, but I wanted to show you how once you freehand it, how you can keep that as a template to use over and over again. Because I had to recreate this layout for a class of 10, I wanted an easier way to do this rather than draw it on each sheet of paper and have them freehand cut it out. So let me show you what I did. I kept the pieces that I cut off, and this is off of the top and this is off of the bottom, and I've also grabbed a piece of Cricut Stencil material. You can find this in your craft stores in the Cricut department, and it will come in a rolled up clear package like this over where the cuttable section is. Now the Cricut stencil material is adhesive, so if you actually peel back, one side is opaque and one side's kind of shiny, and if you were to peel back this material right here, you would find that it's self-stick, which is nice if you want to put it up on your walls and paint, cut a design in this to put on woodwork. We're not going to peel the adhesive off, but you certainly could to make sure that it sticks well to your surfaces. Now there are two ways that you can do this. I'm going to take my strip for along the top, and I'm just going to line it up here along the edge so that you have a nice straight edge on one side. And I have craft magnets for my mat, and I could certainly put those down to hold this in place, but I'm just going to hold it with my hand. Now you can take a colored pencil and trace yourself a pattern just by going along the edge, or if you have your high-powered magnets, you could just put the magnets down and then take your X-Acto knife and then just kind of lightly tack in an edge. Now it won't cut all the way through with the X-Acto knife, but you'll again give yourself just that edge you need to follow to cut your stencil out. Now you could go over the this edge a couple of times with your X-Acto knife and it would go through, but what I do is I'm just going to take a good pair of craft scissors, and I'm just going to follow that X-Acto edge I've cut, or your pencil drawing, whichever is easiest for you. But there is now a stencil of that finished edge, and I can put that down on any sheet of paper and just follow my stencil with my X-Acto knife, and it'll very easily cut out a border strip any size I want. Now because this is the top half, pull my layout back here, this is my top half, you can see right there. I can also create a bottom half. Now this should match up right here nicely for the bottom edge, and you can see that it does. So what I would just do is take this on my paper trimmer and cut myself a straight line. So I'm just going to mark it with that colored pencil again where the top and the bottom edge is. Make sure that's lined up so I can keep it nice and straight. And I'm going to make a mark here, and I'm going to make a mark down here. And again, you could do this with scissors, you could do it with your paper trimmer. I want to make sure that it's nice and straight, so I'm just going to put this in my paper trimmer and line up my little notches that I created with the pencil. Whoop, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the paper trimmer, line up the notches, and then just cut that stencil material. And now you can see that I have a top and bottom stencil. Okay, so now you can see that I've created a top and bottom piece that matches the pattern that I cut off of my paper. Now you can easily, if you've noticed on the Kiwi Lane designs, they kind of put a grommeted hole here and put a bunch of different ones on a key ring and they sell you that. You can create your own set of Kiwi Lane stencils, put those on a ring once you've made a couple of your favorites, and you've got your own set of stencils, and it didn't cost you near as much. With one sheet of the stencil material from Cricut, you can probably create yourself, I don't know, probably, I would say a set of 6 at the very least, if not more. So I've got that much of the material left. So you can see it's a 12 by 24 roll meant to go on the long Cricut mat, but I've only used just a couple of inches. And now with the stencil, what you would do, of course, is put that on a sheet of paper. So I'm just going to take that pattern paper that I have to cut out for my class. I'm going to lay the stencil over top of it, and I know it's hard to see because it's clear. And I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, and now I can very easily just run my blade along my stencil. And you can see that I've quickly created that edge that I wanted for my layout. So lots of fun to create your very own stenciled patterns to create those fun border images. So hope you enjoyed this quick tip. Stop by the website creativecutterroom.com for more Cricut fun tips and tricks. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.